Time, WKYT is talking to the regional president of the parent company of the helicopter involved in yesterday's crash.
Based in Texas, Global Medical Response oversees Air Evac Life Team and Air Ambulance Service with more than 150 bases across 18 states, while the company president says they are providing counseling services for the grieving families. He tells us it has been less than a year since their last deadly crash. New tonight, WKYT's Grayson Passmore is following the latest developments.
It's a horrible and completely unexpected loss for all of them.
The Bell 206 helicopter was used by this three-person crew several times Monday morning, starting at their base in Grant County. Based on the flight pattern, the pilot was preparing to land at the football field in Owen County to pick up a cardiac patient.
It is a tragedy, the loss of 3 of our crew members. They're amazing human beings who work very hard to take care of people. So it's a horrible loss. We feel deeply saddened for the family members and the other crew members that are like family at work.
According to the NTSB, the helicopter struck an 1.5-inch diameter guy wire supporting a tower. Records show this particular aircraft was involved in a rough landing back in 2005 in Texas. The engine was removed and tested, but it was never discovered why there was a loss of power that day, and no crew members were hurt. Regional President Stephen Drawley says an Air Evac crew of 3 were killed in January of this year after dropping off a patient in Hydro, Oklahoma. That crew was also on board a Bell 206, the same type of helicopter involved in Tuesday's crash.
But our focus right now is just on supporting the family members and the crew members here associated with this, and we'll work with the NTSB and the FAA on the investigation fully.
The NTSB tells us the pilot was extremely experienced and has used this landing zone before.
He was doing an orbiting reconnaissance while he was waiting for equipment and people to be in place in the LZ itself.
But for now, the investigation continues. In Owen County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The NTSB says yesterday's patient is doing well now. An initial report into yesterday's crash is expected to be released by the NTSB after 30 days. A final report is expected within 12 to 24 months.